Ladies Night. I'm not going to sing. I'm not going to go Cool in the Gang on anyone and sing Ladies Night. But funny, on one of our team meetings today, we always open things with a question for everyone, like an icebreaker kind of question. And the question today was, what's your favorite song right now? Like, obviously your favorite song changes over time. And of course, right now on repeat in my brain is Ladies Night by Cool in the Gang, because it's Ladies Night. So that was my answer for today. And in that spirit, I just want to share with everyone. Hi, everyone out on Facebook. We're super excited to be meeting with you again tonight on Ladies Night. I think this is our 7th or 8th Ladies Night. So we're getting a roll. We're getting on a roll. We're getting good at this, and we're having lots of fun. Every single one is more fun than the last. Just it keeps building. So it's very exciting. But I do want to share something really quick before we kick things off for real. And that is, in the spirit of Ladies Night, my team sent me this amazing disco ball. These are just some glasses, which maybe some of you recognize from our holiday campaign. And they are the Boom, the Boom glasses. And
that's great.
I know they're so cute, right?
Really
Unfortunately,
cute.
they're not like mass produced. These are DIY. Our creative director, she made them, or one of her people on her team made them. But I'm just like, if there was a way to mass produce those, like, I know I wanted a pair, and I was lucky enough to snag one pair. I think I'm going to have to give it back though. But anyway, this amazing disco ball in the spirit of Ladies Night. It's not hanging. I just have it sitting on a candle right now. My husband is going to hang it for me, but we kind of ran out of time today. So he'll hang it. So next Ladies Night, we'll have a disco ball and everything. It's going to be lots of fun. So welcome, everybody. Happy 2021. We're so excited to be here with you tonight. I have some amazing guests I'm going to introduce you to in just a second. But first, I would love to hear who's joining us. If you want to drop your name in the comments and let us know where you're from. I see Rose and Alicia Johnson King. Hi. Sue from Indiana, and Wanda coming to us from Knoxville, Tennessee. Hello. Nancy from Ohio. We have Cheryl. That's my mom's name. From Vancouver. Very cool. May from Philadelphia. Hello. Hi, ladies. Hi, everyone who's joining us out in Facebook land. I definitely want to, without too much further ado, I want to introduce you to these amazing ladies that are joining me tonight. First, I'm going to introduce myself in case you don't know me. I am Colleen Taylor. I'm the COO of Boom by Cindy Joseph. And this, of course, is the very first Ladies Night of 2021. So we're really excited about that. So if you've never joined us for Ladies Night before, this night is all about you. It's all about you ladies out there watching us. And it's our chance to kind of connect with you personally and let you get to know us a little bit more. It's also the opportunity to dive a little bit deeper into some topics that I think all women over 50 should be able to discuss. And that's what we're going to do tonight. So tonight's super fun because we have a Cindy and a Sandy joining us, which is kind of fun to say, very alliterative. And so I'm going to introduce you to these two amazing women. So both Cindy and Sandy are Boom ambassadors. And that means that both Cindy and Sandy, I'm just going to keep saying that. Both
That's
Cindy
okay. That's all right.
That means that they regularly use Boom themselves. So they are customers and they can answer questions that you have about using Boom. They also both have some unusual and fun ways that they use Boom. And we're going to get into that a little bit later. So that's going to be really fun. So first, I'm going to introduce you to Cynthia Sitkov. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, you said it correctly. Yes.
And so Cindy recently retired. She is a business owner. She was a business owner, and now she is an influencer, and she's coming to us from her home in Virginia. You may have seen her video posted on our blog. If you have watched that video, you would know that Cindy is a slow fashion enthusiast. And yes. I'm going to let Cindy talk about that a little bit more, but basically what slow fashion means choosing quality, timeless pieces that you can keep forever, which, you know, is definitely, I feel like personally, I had to kind of graduate into that school of thought. I always felt like more, I want to get, you know, all the trendy stuff and more, and I've definitely, you know, matured into feeling like I would much rather have something that I can wear for years and years. And, you know, that keeps, it cuts down on the amount of clothing in landfills. And if, you know, for those of you who kind of pay attention to that sort of stuff, the resources that go into making clothing are mind boggling. And so anything you can do to kind of reduce that is a beautiful thing. Cindy loves creating a sustainable closet that blends styles from all different eras. So I'm going to let you say just a little bit more about yourself, Cindy.
Well, thank you, Colleen. I feel like I don't even need to say anymore. You really, you gave me a great introduction. Well, as Colleen said, I was a business owner for many years. I owned an attorney search firm. I co-owned an attorney search firm in Washington, DC for many years, and retired a couple of years ago. And I've always been interested in fashion. I come from a family of retailers. My father and my uncle owned a small chain of men's clothing stores. My grandmother also owned a men's clothing store. After her husband died, she took it over. And my father and my grandmother were very friendly competitors. My great uncles were in the men's clothing business. So I was raised in that industry, and always valued the concept of dressing well and dressing nicely. And I have to say that I was somebody for a very long time that was a real shopper. I spent a lot of mental time thinking about what I was going to buy, and what might fit into my wardrobe, and and then like a freight train, I got hit with this notion that it's more important for me personally to think about wearing items that are sustainable than it is for me to have more items in my closet. Yeah. And that this is all metamorphosized, if that's a word, within the past year to year and a half.
Yeah.
And so I've really embraced this movement of slow fashion, as you mentioned, Colleen, for so many reasons. Financial reasons.
Right.
It's a lot cheaper not buying a lot of clothing. Just environmental reasons. It's better for the environment. Part of the slow fashion movement and part of sustainability is also concerned with making sure people who make our garments are given a living wage.
Right, fairly treated.
And fairly treated. And that's a big part of the sustainability movement.
I love that. I love that.
Yes. And when if you really, people who have are really at the core of the beginnings of this movement have just some incredibly disheartening statistics about the kind of real abuse that takes place in some third world countries, who mass manufacture clothing that's part of fast fashion. So anyway, there are.
I love that phrase too, slow fashion. I had not heard that phrase exactly before, and now I see. Now that you've explained it, I appreciate that. I understand the fast fashion. That makes sense. It's like whatever's trendy, whatever's quick. Replace your closet every year and a half or so, or every season sometimes. So I love that, and I know that you and I. When we connected last night to kind of work out the tech stuff, we really connected on that. So I'm excited to kind of dig into that a little bit later.
Good.
I definitely want to introduce our other guest, Sandy, and just give her a chance to say hi. So I'm going to give a little quick high level intro for Sandy, and then we're going to dig into it. And Cindy, like, you have my heart with that whole, I love it so much. And I'm excited to talk a little bit more about it.
Okay, sure.
Because I think it's so important. So our other guest tonight is Sandra Berg, aka Sandy,
Yes.
of our Cindy and Sandy duo. So Sandy has a really interesting story too. For starters, she just got married in 2018, so you're kind of a newlywed a little bit.
Yes.
And she now lives in Missouri with her husband. Or do you say Missouri? If you live in Missouri, do you say Missouri? Or I'm just
Missouri.
okay. But Sandy lives in Missouri with her husband, and she's also a former photographer. So we connect on that level too. I happen to have a BFA in photography. I don't
Wow.
use it quite as much as I, thought I might when I was getting that degree. But certainly where life has led me to this moment and this conversation right now, like it's okay. Like I'm thrilled to be doing what I'm doing. But yeah, we have some photo stuff in common, which is really exciting. Sandy's been retired for a couple years. She did get her degree in her 50s, which is very inspirational. And now she volunteers and does a lot of other fun stuff. And Sandy, I'm going to kind of let you elaborate on that a little bit and let our guests get to know you a little bit better too.
Thank you, Colleen. First and foremost, I would like to say that I am the mom of one daughter and I have two granddaughters. And my daughter's name is Mandy and she's watching tonight. So I'm trying to break them into pro aging very young so they will be ready when it comes their turn. Phil and I, as Colleen said, got married in Key West on a beach at sunset in 2018. And I met him when he was 65 and I was 66. So there are good guys out there, just to let you all know that. I retired from education in 2015, so 5.5 years. I've been retired and I worked on the business finance side of education and I really enjoyed it. And then once I retired, I just felt like I had the freedom to do what I wanted to do. Colleen, you may use that photography degree someday.
I have a feeling, yes.
Because I had done photography through, excuse me, I'm going to get a drink of water. I had done photography really throughout my life. And then I thought, what do I want to do? What do I really want to do? Not what I'm paid for, but what do I really want to do? And I focused on photography and volunteer work. So I went cold into a studio and I said, I've always wanted to do studio photography, and they hired me on the spot. And I was amazed at that. Went in there with my little portfolio book and they hired me. And so I got the opportunity to do studio photography. And you really learn a lot about people when you're looking through the camera lens. And I got to see beauty up close and personal, that everyone is beautiful in their own way. So took a lot of great pictures. A lot of times someone would just be trying to pose and it would be very flat, but if you could just see that person that they are and that light that they have in them, those are the best pictures.
Yeah.
And then the entire time I was doing my volunteer work, I worked in a program that is dedicated, in my part, I work woman to woman with women who are going through grief or having a difficult time in life. I listen to them, encourage them, find resources for them if needed, and just really care and let them know that I care. 10 years ago, when I was 60, I decided I needed a better form of exercise. So I started doing ballroom dancing so I can do salsa, tango, waltz, foxtrot. And I'm not saying I'm that good at it, but I take lessons and I love it. My granddaughters are also taking ballroom lessons too.
I love that. How fun.
Wow.
I hear that's one of the best workouts you can have. That and swimming, which I know, Cindy, you are a swimmer. So
yes,
yeah, you guys have the fun, types of exercise. And that's kind of important, as you age. Obviously we want to stay active. And I think it's less about the, going to the gym and putting in the reps. It's more like, what can I do for fun that's good for my body? And it sounds like both of you have, a pretty cool way of exercising that is super fun. I know swimming as I mentioned, I swam a little in college, and yeah, it was super
It's fun. It's a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
fun. And it's like, it's a full body workout, just
Yeah.
like dancing. It's a full
Yeah.
body workout.
Yeah.
And with dancing, you get to do it with somebody else and, you know, wear your dancing shoes. And it's kind of like it's an event. So
We
how
dance
fun.
backwards in high heels in ballroom
Yeah.
dance.
Yeah, how fun. That's really exciting. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm glad that our ladies got to hear a little bit more about you. I definitely want to jump into some of these exciting questions tonight. So we're going to get to know each other even better.
Okay.
I'm going to kind of start. I'm just going to give a little bit of a preview of tonight. So this is, as I said, this is the first Boom Ladies Night of the year. So we thought it was a good chance to talk about gratitude and give everyone just a little bit of inspiration for, you know, to kind of go into 2021 with. And we're also going to share some tips about how we all use Boom, including, like I said, a few little unique ideas that blew me away, honestly. One of them that Cindy's going to share is just super fun and cool. Yeah, and you know, you might not think of it right away, but it's really cool. So I won't give it away. We'll wait till we get to that spot. But before we get into everything, I just want to remind everyone that that everyone watching, that we are hosting a giveaway right now. Next week, we're going to be giving away $50 to spend in our Boom store to 5 winners. We've mailed, if you're on our list, we've mailed about it, and you can see it on our social media. But there's definitely still time to enter. It only takes a second. You enter your email address, and our team is going to drop the link, I think, in the comments below. And I think, Sandy, you won our giveaway a while back, didn't you?
I did. I did back in August, and I was so shocked that I won, and it's a great giveaway, and I got some really good products. So
nice. Yes, and we have a winner. How fun. That's awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, if you haven't entered already, you can enter, and I think you can enter like 3 or 4 different ways. You can enter on Facebook, you can enter through email. So if you are interested, definitely see somebody's going to win. All right, so let's kind of dive into things a little bit. I want to kind of talk about this concept of gratitude and kind of appreciating what we have. And I think that this is really important for all women to discuss. We talk about this a lot at Boom, not only in our blog posts and videos, but here as a company. And so for me, this is part of my inspiration this year. I started off in 2020 doing something that I do every couple years, and funny, come to find out that Cindy does it too, which is really cool. And what I call it a retail cleanse, for lack of a better word. And essentially it is, I don't buy any clothing, jewelry, or shoes for the entire year, from January 1st to December 31st. I know it's shocking a little bit. At least the first time I did it, it was shocking. By month 3, and the first time I did it was in 2008, and my children were 7 and 4, so they were younger. And so, I thought, how am I going to get through this year without a little retail therapy? But I really was inspired by the young lady who, who told me about it and suggested I try it with her. It was something we were going to do together, and that was really fun too. That made it really fun. And I got to month 3, and I was like, what am I doing? I need to, what's the old commercial, Calgon, take me away? I was like, retail, like I need, we need to go out and just buy something for that hit of that dopamine, chemical, to kind of satisfy that itch, or whatever, for whatever reason you do your shopping. But I said, no, I'm going to make this conscious decision and just see what comes from it. And I made it to the end of 2008.
Yeah, and that's fabulous.
From those first feelings of like, I'm never going to make it, that came, the first 90 days or so. Between that time and the end of the year, the amount of growth that I experienced just in my own, just in the way that I looked at, as you said, Cindy, fast fashion versus slow fashion. That's right around when I kind of like, it clicked for me. I was like,
Right.
I don't need to replace my closet
Right.
every
Right.
6 months or whatever.
It's very liberating.
Yeah. And at the time, it had nothing to do with my age. It had nothing to do with, it was really more sitting with what you have and really having an appreciation for, and this is also I'm sure a lot of you have heard of Marie Kondo, the KonMari method. where
Kind of.
you
Yeah.
hold the thing.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing too. But this is even pre that, where you really kind of, you sit with what you have.
Mhm.
And I found myself, I called it like, I'd go shopping in my own closet and I would put things together in a different way that made them
Right.
fresh and made them new. And the things that I learned about, first of all, I saved, and at that time, this was a lot of money for me to save, like $7,000 or $8,000 over the
Mhm.
course of the year that I did not spend
Right. Right.
on all
Right.
that stuff. And I put that in a
Right.
savings account
Right.
and I
Right.
paid off bills, and like, it was
Right.
just
Right.
transformational in so many
Right.
ways.
Right.
And really all because I decided not to scratch that itch of like, let me just go out to the mall and just look around. Like, I just said, no, I'm going to avoid the temptation. And so that was a really big learning for me. And what I ended up doing was just doing it for a second year. That first time I did it 2 years in a row and I survived. And then, I said, I'm going to do this every couple years. Of course, by 2010, I was like, I'm ready to buy some stuff now. So I definitely allowed myself
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
treat
Yeah.
myself, but
Yeah.
with a new appreciation
Yeah.
for what it was I was going. I didn't need that volume. I didn't need to, get all the things. And it was much more about, like you said, it was much more about slow fashion, more about the quality and the timelessness of the piece, as opposed to the trendy, cute little thing that I could buy one in every color and, not. So those types of things I really got a lot of learning out of, and really that helped me on my sort of my gratitude journey, because now that is now part of who I am. I appreciate the things that I have so much more. I'm much more selective about the things that I bring into. I mean, it's not just about being 50, but like by the time you're 50, and you ladies can understand, like, you can accumulate, if you allow yourself, you
Right.
can accumulate a lot of stuff.
Right.
And I'm not a hoarder by any stretch, but I do have lots of stuff. And so, this exercise allowed me to also be able to kind of purge things that, like, again, this is before Marie Kondo, but like, if it didn't, like, why do I have this? And I would question those things, like, they're taking up space. Could they be valuable to someone else? I found myself giving a lot of things away. So anyway, that was sort of my big lesson. And I would love to hear, that really nicely dovetails into what you were talking about earlier too, Cindy, is, this idea of slow fashion. So.
And it's also very freeing. It just is. And I'm starting my fashion cleanse this year. So starting January 1st is when I decided that I'm going to go a year without buying any clothing or shoes. Now I hadn't thought about the jewelry, but but I may as well throw that in while we're at it. But one of the things that I've started to do is consciously give away articles of clothing that I really love, because while they're in good shape, because I want somebody else to sort of feel the joy of something that I enjoyed for so long. And I have too much stuff in my closet. So I don't want to have that much stuff. So as you mentioned, I'm doing influencing, and on my Instagram page, I did a promotion last month, and there was no purchase or anything, but I actually gave away a coat.
Love it.
That I really valued, a really beautiful red coat made in France that was in great condition. I take really good care of my clothes, and all you had to do was basically, like my page and I entered you in my contest and somebody won it.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that beautiful coat is going to have a really nice home.
Right. A second life, if you will. It's gonna, yeah.
Right. And somebody else can enjoy it. And so, and I feel better, not, you know, it's one less piece of, a coat takes up a lot of room in a closet. It's one less piece of, it's one less garment that's in my closet. And I'm really trying to, the less I have or the less I buy, the more I value what it is I have. And one of the things about slow fashion is that it's better for us to buy less and a higher quality than to just buy so you have it.
Right.
I would rather have 2 nice shirts that I can wear over and over again versus 10.
Right. One thing I have found, that not that I'm fishing for compliments, but I find that those 1 or 2 nice pieces that you wear, you know, you get more compliments than that trendy thing that you have in 5 colors. Like people recognize something of quality.
That's right.
You know, and
That's
that
right.
sort of adds to the fun of, you know, if you have to save up for it, like not everybody has, you know, tons of, you know, expendable income that they can. So it makes it that much more special. And I think that, you know, in staying with the gratitude theme, it's like I am, you know, makes me that much more grateful that I was able to, one, have the patience to wait and like really focus on what is it. Many times I've thought I really want that thing and I'm not going to get it until I can save for it in this certain type of way, or until I, you know, feel like I've earned it in whatever criteria I set up for myself. And then
I
find myself just admiring it. And then I can buy it and I say, you know, the joy was just in, you know, knowing I could have it if I wanted it. And then I don't really have to. And that's, you know, many things I've said, I don't really need to have it now, but it was fun.
Yeah.
You know, it was fun thinking about it and, you know, saving for it or whatever. But, you know, I think that, you know, that adds to that, just that gratitude picture. How about you, Sandy? I would love to hear what you are grateful for, or how, you know, how you relate to that story, or, you know, would love to hear your thoughts.
Well, I relate to the story because I have a she shed, and it's a whole room and it's my closet. And, you know, I don't know, I guess because I was home more this last year than normal, but I'm just looking at all my stuff and I'm wondering, do I really need this? And when did I get that? And trying on things that I haven't even had on in years. And so I love the stories about the clothes in the closets, because my she shed is fairly famous with my lots of shoes, purses, and so on. So I'm going to think about that. I do have, I'm grateful for so many things. I think just the things that maybe I just take for granted, and maybe this is along the same line of that. Being at home here, I moved in to where my husband lived 2 years ago, and we've been renovating it. And just with every little thing we do, we just appreciate it so much. We're normally doing it ourselves, and we just appreciate it. And I'm just grateful for the coziness of it and just the simple things. One of the things that I was thinking about in gratitude was this year, in 2020, whenever it was my husband's birthday and we couldn't go anywhere. We were at a stay-at-home order. And so I packed a little picnic and we went over to just a local park, and we found a nice little area, and we had this picnic. And honestly, I enjoyed that so much more than just going out for the big party or the festivities. It was just so personal. And I was just, I think gratitude is like being grateful for the large things that we have, like family and friends and a home and a community. But it's also just these little things. It may be just grateful that my neighbors are so generous and kind.
Yeah.
You know,
I love that.
I was just going to interrupt, and I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm going to. Anyway, what I was going to say was, I try to practice gratitude exercises, sort of at the end of the day,
Mhm.
and it can be really transformative
Yeah.
to just say, I feel really good, really grateful, and really glad that I got through the day and I'm healthy and my husband's healthy and my family's healthy and my dog and cat are doing well. I mean, small things
Yeah.
that are really profound in my life, and just taking a moment to there's a lot of suffering in the world. A lot of people are not
Yeah.
doing well.
And do you write that down? Like, what is your
Sometimes I
process?
sometimes I do.
Yeah.
Sometimes I
I love that. I know a lot of people keep like a gratitude journal. For
Mhm.
me, I have tried that. And while, yes, I mean, the gratitude does flow, but I can't always just write it down. It's just not the way that I do it. Although I can say that I have been very recently inspired by a friend who decided that she's going to write a letter or a card to someone every day to in gratitude for her relationship with them. And I've been so inspired by that. And not to say I'm going to be able to do that, but I love the different ideas that people have. So when you said at the end of the day you have like a gratitude practice or something that you do, I was
Yeah.
just curious if you wrote it down. I know that sometimes, at least for me, where everything's electronic, and we have, I mean, at our place of business, which we all work from home, we're in front of this screen, and I have, we have a platform where we text each other. We have Google Docs, and we have, places. And I always prefer picking up a pen and writing something down on
Yeah,
paper.
right,
I have
right.
pads of things that, I eventually have to enter them into the computer somewhere, somehow. But I feel like that writing down of things, I've heard in over the years in many different forms, that actually writing things down sort of etches it in your brain, in your memory, in a different way than
That's
just
right.
typing or just
That's
speaking
right.
something, is that if you write it down. So yeah, I think it's kind of cool. That's sort of a like a little
Acknowledging it,
life
acknowledging.
hack to, yeah, it becomes part of you
Mhm.
when you write, just like things that you want to maybe purge from you write it down, and kind of, I know some people will burn the paper or what have you. That there's all different ways for writing things down. It's just really a cathartic kind of a cathartic way of expressing gratitude, or forgetting something that you want to forget, or whatever. But yeah, I'm always intrigued by how people express that. I may have to try to the old gratitude journal at some point.
And it's so old-fashioned, Colleen. I love the idea of writing. And
Yeah,
and there is something really nice about getting away
it
from
is.
our pads and our,
I
yeah.
know, especially for those of us who still know how to write in cursive, or are
Mhm.
taught how to write in cursive. My children, who are 19 and almost 17, so they're not babies anymore. They're not just in the younger, where you would learn cursive. I think I learned it in third grade or something. They're well past that. But even when they were in third grade, however many years ago, they were just then phasing out of cursive. I remember both of them, my boys, absolutely hated, why do we have to make this letter look different? That it should just look like this. Okay, I understand, but it's sort of a lost form, and I think
It's a
a
lost
lost
form.
art form.
Yeah.
And so when I do write things down, it is a combination of print and cursive. You see some cursive letters coming in there sometimes, but I guess progress. But I still like to go back to, like you said, those may feel a little old fashioned,
Mhm.
but it connects me with my thoughts in a different way than typing, or reading, or just speaking something would.
Well, there's
So
been a lot of
I love
research
that.
about that,
Yeah,
how writing is it impacts the brain, and
right. Right. I
spinal
couldn't
column.
remember
Right.
exactly how it was
Right.
explained, but it
Mhm.
literally like etches it in your brain.
Right.
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 So,
Correct. Mhm.
so we're getting a couple little comments and questions in here. So I just want to acknowledge a few of them. With regard to the ladies are loving the clothing cleanse and the closet cleanses. We have Susan. She said, I actually did the clothing cleanse this year because I just didn't want to shop for clothes during the pandemic and ended up not shopping online either. I love that. I did try, Susan. I did try. 2020 was supposed to be my year. Like I said, I do it every couple years. In 2020, I was like, I'm ready for my retail cleanse. First couple months of the year, I was good. And then, right around the Ides of March 15th, was like when everything locked down.
Yeah.
And, I didn't think about shopping, of course, right away. But by the time I was locked up for, 30 days or whatever, I was like, all right, this is not going to be my year. I need a little bit of retail therapy.
Yeah,
So I did sort of break it, and I didn't go crazy, but I did sort of break it. So I felt like, all right, 2020, it's a wash. I'm not going to worry about it. I had my little, and now 2021, that's why I said I reset my goal for 2021 for not shopping. So I feel you, Susan, and I'm very proud of you that you were able to not shop online either, because that was tough. I broke. I definitely cracked. So we have another. Let's see, Teresa Kinney. She says, I always donate to the local women's shelter. The clothing goes to women who are interviewing for jobs and need to look professional. I love that. I know that there's a couple of women's shelters do that. There's an organization that does that too. And I think it's so important. That really complements what you said so nicely, Cindy, about like, you're giving this piece of clothing a second life with someone who can now take it and enjoy it. And,
Right.
If it's quality, again, like that fast fashion, you can't really hand stuff down very easily.
Right.
Because
Right.
it's either it's not in style anymore, or it's
Right.
quality's just not there.
Right.
I'm with you on like the quality too. And then you feel good about giving something to someone else, because you feel like it's something of quality that you still care about. I'm going to try to work on that one, because I feel like that would be upping my game in terms of like the giving things away or purging my closet, is really being thoughtful about, well, I'm not just going to give you the stuff that I don't like anymore, or I don't care. I'm going to give somebody something that I still care about it, and I care about it so much that I'm going to make sure that it goes to a good place. So I love that. Let's see. So I think that's most of the questions that are coming in. There's a few here. That are more product related. So I'm going to wait. We're going to go into that. We're going to jump into the product stuff in just a couple minutes. Yeah. So I'm going to kind of take this gratitude conversation just one step further. And because it kind of translates into being grateful for our bodies and, what we're carrying ourselves around in the world in. And it's sort of that time of year. I mean, it's a little bit into January, or almost all the way through January. But it is that time of year when everybody's talking about exercising, and I'm going to get back to the gym, which of course we're not going to gyms right now, but we're going to get back to a routine, or the resolutions, the New Year's resolutions. I'm going to exercise X times a week, which I try to do that every year. I try to set it. And it's like, New Year's resolutions for me anyway, they really don't work that way. It has to come from my heart. It has to be something that I, feel for a different reason. Like the calendar doesn't just magically make it happen for me. Some people it does. And I think that's really cool. So again, it's that time where we're talking about exercising and eating right. And yet not many of us are talking about just being happy with our bodies, how they are right now, which I happen to be, even though I don't work out as much as I maybe would like to if I made time and space for that. But I am also very satisfied and very happy with just how I'm showing up in the world right now. I am 50, as I've mentioned on a couple past ladies' nights. So I'm creeping ever closer to 51. So my year of being 50 is, it's been, even though most of it was spent in my house, like literally not leaving my house, didn't have the big 50th birthday bash that I thought I might have, which is why I really love that story, Sandy, about you and your husband, like celebrating, you don't need all the big fanfare, as long as you're excited about getting to that next year, in yourself, as long as you are looking forward to that, you can celebrate just by yourself, or just with your husband, or just with your family. Like, you don't need all the big fanfare, even though that could be fun too. But yeah, I happen to be very happy with, how I'm showing up in the world right now. I'm doing my best to take care of myself, without feeling bad that I'm not doing more, because sometimes you can get into that mindset where you're thinking, I really should be exercising more. I really should be. And, I'm sorry. I still find myself doing that once in a while, but I really try to catch myself and say, I'm doing just the right amount. As long as
That's so healthy. I mean, that's such a healthy attitude. Where yes, where you're not beating yourself up. You're
Right.
just a kid, Colleen. You're only 50. I'm 65 and a half. Okay. You're a kid.
Yeah. And I feel like, there's a lot of studies that show too, the chemicals that you create in your body by feeling and entertaining negative
Right.
thoughts and negative self-talk is far worse for you than not exercising. It's far worse for you to beat yourself up for,
That's right.
or not allow yourself to have that dessert that one night. The chemicals that go through your body for denying yourself and feeling bad about yourself, and just eat the cake, just eat it. And it's, yeah, don't do it every single time. Don't eat cake every single day or but allow yourself to indulge every once in a while, because again, that's just one small example. The main thing I'm, trying to say is, like, I do my best to not allow myself to all that negative self-talk. I feel like, I am always going to do the best that I can for myself, for everyone around me. I know that I'm always going to do the best that I can. And, that's how I try to show up.
I think a lot of women do a lot of negative self-talk. And I think men don't do nearly as much negative self-talk. And I've spoken to a couple of girlfriends that I have about the following, and that is, sometimes I try to take this mindset that I know men often take, which is, I'm so good at this and I'm so good at that, and I'm excelling, and I'm and I think if we could learn as women to just have a running reel in our head of not negative stuff, but positive stuff.
Yes.
I'm doing the right. In other words, why can't we turn that reel instead of, well, I'm not exercising enough, which means I'm going to do this, instead of, I'm just, I'm just like getting through life really well. And, I'm a fine person. I've got a good moral character. I'm doing.
I love how that fits so much into the boom message too.
Right. Exactly.
We are part of the reason that happens, Cindy, at least in my opinion, is because, society has been telling us as women that, well, you're 50 now. It's all downhill from here. I mean, or even honestly, 40, like that. I remember when I was little, I remember when my parents turned 40, and that was all the over the hill jokes and and I thought, 40, like that's not that big of a number. In my young mind, I thought, wow, 40 is old. And that's precisely the problem, is so much of society is telling us that, like, you reach a certain age as a woman, downhill. It's and where Cindy, really kind of tried to turn that on its head. She said, you
Right.
actually gain value as you age. Whereas men, it's kind of the opposite. It's like the older you are, well, that means you've got more experience and
And
you're
gray
probably
hair
earning
and- right.
more. And you look distinguished.
Right.
Whereas they get all, and while those things can be true, definitely not taking that away from the guys, that's definitely true. But then why is it not also true of women?
Right.
Turns out it is. And we've just been sort of fed this, through media and those sorts of things. And I do think that that's changing. I don't think that it's, it's going to be that way forever. I do think it's an uphill climb because it's been going on for so long. But I do think that people like Cindy Joseph saw it, and she was, brave enough and daring enough and like just, enough to say, no, you actually all have it wrong. Like women, we gain value just as much as men. And I love how it was never about women versus men. It was more like, why don't we feel the same way about ourselves, about as women, as as society tells us,
Right.
to feel about men as they
Right.
gain value as we age. Well, guess what? So do women.
Right. Right. That's right.
yeah.
And that's what Boom's about.
Yeah. And I
Yeah,
love that,
Yeah. Yeah.
part of the reason that I am so, so I feel so fortunate, speaking of gratitude, to be able to work with a brand like this. And, it's led us to tonight, and I get to speak to the two of you. Do you have any other thoughts, Sandy, on just, what we've been talking about? I know I've been talking a lot, so.
No, I love it. I love it. I was just, when I was thinking about that too, I had another thing that I'd written in my appreciation part was about the pro-aging process and how important it is. And it's particularly not only important for us where we are, the 50 and over, it's important for the ones coming up. Like I feel so grateful and have gratitude that my grandchildren can see my message with pro-aging. I know that my granddaughter out there, hi, I think she's watching, she had she broke her shoulder and has a little scar here. And I'm trying to tell her that those things are, her part of her personality and part of what makes us who we are and unique and uniquely beautiful. And I think it's just a great message. I think, I look at my body and like, I'm just so thankful that it carries me the way it has. And so I feel like my reward to it is to eat healthy and eat well and try to take care of myself and to put healthy things on my skin, not just in my body, but also taking care of what is on my face and on my body.
I love that. I love that. I was just going to say, I was just going to ask, what are you most grateful for in your bodies right now? And you just answered it so beautifully, which is, that it actually gets up out of bed and carries me around and gets me through, it's working, which I love. And it's really something that, there's that saying, health is wealth. It's so true. It really is so true, is to, to be able to kind of, get around in the world, even if you have certain things that you have to deal with, from a health perspective. There's so much to be grateful for if you can kind of, as my grandma used to say, like, I'm sitting up sipping tea. So things are good, like I'm able to do that, which means I can communicate and I'm here, I'm showing up. So I love that. And I love that, we can all kind of be grateful for that. Very simple, but beautiful thing. Is there anything either of you wish you were more grateful for? I know that's an interesting question, but anything you wish you were more grateful for?
Sometimes I feel like I just have so much and I don't see it.
Yeah.
Just the ability that we have to go and buy clothes when we want to, and not everybody has that. I think that gratitude runs so deep into even the basics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would just add that I've got an incredibly fortunate life, and um, I'm very thankful for it. And you're absolutely right, Sandy. We're lucky that we can have this discussion about, well, maybe we'll take a fashion cleanse. There are people who can't afford to buy clothes.
Right.
And
Right.
we're talking about basically taking a fashion cleanse because we have too much.
Right.
So, you know,
Yeah.
it's all really a matter of perspective. And you know, no matter how you cut it, all of us here, three of us, have good lives. And
Yeah.
not that
Yeah.
we don't, you know, everybody has their cross to bear at some point in their lives. You know, everybody faces challenges. Everybody has, you know, something that impacts either themselves or their family in some profound way.
Right.
I mean, I'm not trying to minimize that and say everybody's got, you know, we all have perfect lives, because we don't. I don't, you know, nobody does. But it's just trying to look at everything in its perspective. So,
Yep, agreed. I love that. That was a really nice way to kind of wrap, I think you know, talking about gratitude, although, you know, I hope everybody kind of takes a piece of that and, you know, moves into, you know, continues on tonight and into the, you know, into their lives with a little bit more gratitude for what we do have. I love that conversation so much. Um, just in the interest of time, I do want to, I notice a lot of questions coming in, talking about makeup and our, you know, our products. So I definitely want to leave some time for that because that's exciting for everyone. Um, so I know that both of you had some really cool and unusual ambassador videos showing how you use Boom. And so I kind of want to touch on those first, and I'm going to read some of the questions that are coming in as well, and we'll see if we can answer them directly. So, so first, I want to ask you both, what is your favorite Boom? So I'll start with you, Cindy. What is your favorite Boom product?
oh, that's not even a fair question,
It's hard.
because
Sort of not, I know.
no, because I don't want to have favorites. But if I had to have a favorite, it would be the Boom color.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This, I mean, this goes a really long way.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, this is a great stick, a boomstick, and I love everything about this. I love the color. What's amazing is it looks good on all skin tones.
Yeah, it really does. In fact, we have Kathy is asking if you are wearing Boom right now.
I sure am.
I figured you were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really
I am
all.
too. That's all
Yeah.
I'm wearing right now too. And I agree that it's that color, and that all comes from, you know, Cindy's experience in, you know, in being a makeup artist for, I believe it was 27 years. You know, she knew a lot about skin tones and makeup. And so when it was time and she felt like I'm going to create something, she wanted it to be simple and yet something that anybody could use. And so that color is, if you don't know this already, that color is basically mimics the color that your skin changes when you are happy or joyful, when you're blushing, flirting, that sort of thing. You know, when you're, I think Cindy said, when you're getting revved up, when you're getting excited about something, that's the color, and it sort of brings out that tone in everyone. It kind of morphs magically to kind of mimic that color for everyone, which I love about it. I think that's probably, I don't know, ask me a different day, I'd tell you a different product, but color is really, that is one of my favorites too.
And I put this on my lips and on my cheekbones. I
Yeah.
put a little bit on my forehead.
Yeah.
And sometimes I put it, you know, right to give it a little color, my chest.
Yeah, I think Cindy had, you know, sometimes some of her videos I know had said she put it on neckline,
Right.
and I do the same. I definitely, because I am mostly of English and Irish descent. So I have very pale skin, although I do pink up a little bit in the sun, but also if I'm blushing, I can't hide it. So I love that this sort of mimics that. I get a little on the apples of my cheeks too, and I use it as an eyeshadow and on my lips. How about you, Sandy? How do you, I mean, first of all, I would love to know what your favorite boom is, and then how
Um,
you use it.
Well, first of all, Boomstick Color is so close to my heart because that's the first product that I ever used. It was, I put it on, I received, my products, and I put on the Boomstick Color, and I just knew immediately. They had a glow and it had a radiance, and I'm like, this is the best thing ever. But it's not my favorite product. It's not my most favorite product. So my most favorite product is Boom Bright.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a
Yeah.
reason for that,
Yay.
though. And
Yeah.
the reason is, you can't tell now because I have on the Boom Bright, but my eyelashes I'm fair, my hair is blonde, and my eyelashes are completely invisible. I'm also British and Irish descent, and also Native American. But yeah, I have that, my dad's genes. He was 100% British. But so anyway, I'm a self-proclaimed mascara expert because I've tried so many different ones, and they would clump, and then some of them were waterproof, and I didn't think they were very good for my eyelashes. My eyelashes felt really dry, and it didn't work. And then I got this product, and
It's
actually, I
incredible.
think I may have gotten this in one of my things with the giveaway. I'm not
Yeah.
sure, but I think my first one.
Nice.
So I started using this, and I put it on the first time, and it separates your lashes. It moisturizes your lashes. And it does not clump. And if there's one message I want to get through this evening, it's that Boom Bright does not clump on your lashes. Another
It's-
thing that is a really fun fact, I just want to add this one fun fact, that the tube is made from sugarcane and it's recyclable.
Isn't that amazing?
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
I know it's every little thing about Bright was thought through, and it's just the perfect little cosmetic. It really is. I'm so
And-
glad that we came up with that.
Yes.
And another thing about it, it smells really good.
Yes. Yes.
It's got
I
a
believe
really nice smell. And
And
I tell you, Sandy, it doesn't clump at all, and
And
it
Cindy,
comes off so
hold
easily.
up the wand. Hold up the wand because it's tapered and it gets my little lashes. I have these little bitty lashes
Yeah,
under
this is
here.
a
And
really
you have the long side and then you have the short side.
right,
The middle is
right. I don't know if you can see how it's tapered here, but
Yeah, but it's
that
like
has that shape. Yeah.
the most
just-
awesome bright.
and one of my pet peeves about mascara is that it's difficult to take off, and
Mhm.
this comes off so easily.
Yeah. This is a water-based.
This is a
formula.
perfect mascara.
It is a perfect mascara, and it's a soft black. And you would think I couldn't wear a black mascara, but it looks good on me. But I've also seen it on people with very dark, thick eyelashes, and it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Everybody in between.
I love too that it's buildable. So it's, you put one coat on, because I am, being a Jersey girl. I mean, I'm in Southern California now for a long time, but I always refer to my Jersey roots when it comes to, like, when I learned how, when I first started wearing makeup, it was 80s Jersey style. I don't know that I need to say more about that, but it was like the more the merrier. And so yeah, I know, some thick mascara when I see it. And I love that this is, if you want to go for that sort of va-va-voom look a little bit, you just build it. You wear a couple, you put on an extra coat or two of it. And to Cindy's point, it comes off so easily.
It does. It's really
Silk
great.
takes it off. I don't use Boom Silk to take it off. But you can use just soap and water. You actually can use just water. But it comes off so easily because, as we age, our hair becomes a little bit more fragile, our eyelashes, our eyebrows, everything's just a little bit more fragile. And you just want to take that little bit of extra TLC to take care of it. And so that was really went into the decision of let's make a water-based formula, so that it comes off nice and easy, and all those other things that you said about it. Um, Sandy, it's as if you're an ambassador, and like, I know you are, but yeah, it's, I love that you appreciate all those things, because all that thought really went into formulating this. It's a very special mascara, right down to the tube, as you pointed out, because we care about the environment, and, want that to be around for a long time too. So I have a couple, actually someone did just ask about what is the mascara like, which we just went through. I actually misread it. I thought she was saying, what does it smell like? Which I know, Cindy, you mentioned it does have a lovely scent. I believe it's the rose water that's in it. So it has like a rose kind of a scent. So let's see, we've got a couple other questions, and these are interesting. One of them is about wearing like a base, like a foundation. We have, let's see, I think Susan is asking, do you need a base before using the Boom blush, the Boom color? The answer is you do not. I don't have any sort of foundation on. Every once in a while I will, again, because I have that like very pink undertones, and if I'm cold, my nose turns red. It just gets very pink. And so sometimes I will use maybe like a little matte powder just to kind of tone down the redness of my nose. But other than that, I don't wear a foundation, but you certainly can. I think we may even have a video or two in our archive somewhere where we talk about, you can wear it with a foundation, with or without a foundation, and many ladies do. And then let's see, we also have a question about, let's see, I scrolled down to it and then I scrolled back up. Let's see, I'm not sure where it went. Okay, here it is. We have Carolyn, who says she's always used a matte liquid foundation. Could Boom work for me? So in that same vein, vein of answer, it can totally work for you. I would just make sure that the foundation obviously has completely dried, and then, I use it. In fact, the last Boom Ladies Night, I'm pretty sure it was the last one, I came makeup free and kind of put the makeup on the Boom Ladies Night. And so if you have a foundation, this is going to blend with anything that you have on already. I put a dry matte powder, just a, like a compact, and it works great with that too. Like if I have a little blemish or something that I want to sort of, tone down a little before I then put some blush and brighten it up again, I will definitely, and it works just great with that. But it also works with foundation. Madeline is asking about, she's new to the sticks. So yeah, Madeline, you are in for a treat as you start to, check out the videos on our site, and, we've got all sorts of tutorials around how to use the sticks, contouring. I believe there's a blog post about contouring, how you can really, use it like a makeup artist would, like Cindy could use them. I use them in a very simple way, but certainly they are much like the mascara, like it's buildable. If you are good at contouring, and it's very simple. There is a blog post about that. And then Madeline, you also asked about concealer. I think concealer would work kind of the same way that a foundation. You could also put a concealer on after you put the color or the glimmer or whatever. It just depends on what you're trying to conceal, but hopefully I answered that question. And then we do have a question about Boom Scrub, which, speaking of products that smell like heaven, Boom Scrub, if you haven't gotten a whiff of that product, it is the most amazing smelling product. It is, so I use it, and this is actually Colleen asking this question. I will try to pronounce your last name, Vpond, Colleen Vpond. So hi, Colleen. She's asking about Boom Scrub and how do we use it. So I use it a couple times a week. I don't use it every day, but I do use it a couple times a week to sort of slough any of the dead skin, kind of, it's as an exfoliant, but it is the most gentle exfoliant you can imagine. It's not like the crushed apricot seeds or whatever of our, of my youth, which just would tear your face apart. Which back then, you're 13, 14, whatever, you're using this apricot facial scrub, and it's just micro tearing your face. You don't realize it. You just know when you wipe it off, you're nice and pink and bright. Well, if you were to magnify that, you're actually tearing your skin. And so, as you age, your skin becomes more delicate, and you certainly don't want to be using some harsh, very abrasive thing. A lot of scrubs, a lot of exfoliants have like sugar. They use sugar or other, hard edged, I should say, exfoliants in them, in their formulas that do much like the old apricot shells, tear your skin. And Boom Scrub is actually, the exfoliant in it is rolled oat kernels that are round, and they just glide across your face. They still do the job of exfoliating your skin, and dead skin cells and makeup and cleaning your pores, but they do it in a much more gentle way. And as I said, smells like heaven. So a couple times a week, I use that. I put it on, I do very gentle circles, and I leave it on for about 5 minutes so that the ingredients in it also contribute to that exfoliating, of the dead skin. And then just rinse it off. Sometimes I'll follow it with Boom Clean. Sometimes I will just use Boom Clean. So I don't use it every day, but I don't know. Do you ladies use Boom Scrub?
Yes, I do. I use the scrub like you do a couple of times a week. But sometimes what I'll do is I'll combine the Boom Clean and the Boom Scrub. I'll put them both in my hand and go like that. I don't know if you're supposed to do that or not, but I do it. And I feel like I'm getting just a cleansing, cleaning thing at the same time. It's very nice. And the exfoliator is, as you remarked, it's very, very gentle.
Yeah.
It's very gentle, but it smells great. And the Clean is a really nice product too.
Yeah.
It's a great name for it.
Yeah.
But it's a very gentle cleanser.
Right. And
but it's
just like Bright, Clean as a product was something that our customers were like, hey, the sticks are great, and we love them, and we love Boom Silk and like some of the earlier products. And they said, but it sure would be great if you had a cleanser, because we developed, or I should say, Cindy developed this very loyal following because the products were just so good. Mm-hmm. And basically they said, if you make a cleanser, we'll come buy it. We will buy it. And so we developed, it took us some time because again, we want to put as much care and thought into the ingredients as possible. And so of course, that's where Boom Clean came from, was again, just customers saying like, we love your other stuff, and it would be awesome if you could add a cleanser. And again, with the mascara, we'd love it if you made a mascara. And so now we ask all the time, when you make a purchase, we send you a survey that says, hey, what else would you be interested in? And we really do look at those surveys, and we kind of, decide what we're going to launch next based on what people are asking for. And you were saying, Sandy, you really like Clean too.
Oh, I love Clean. And as a matter of fact, I don't use the scrub as much, but it's only because every night, I don't know what's happened to me, but I'm like, oh, I need to use Clean. I just want to use it because it feels so good and smells so good. And I don't know, I think it puts me to sleep easier. I love it. I use it in the mornings too, but awesome. It's just good for my skin. But since the two of you have, talked about the scrub so much, I'm going to have to give it a try.
It's
and just
amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
A little
really
peer
great.
pressure, right? Cindy?
Yeah,
It's
well,
really great.
no, it's because I trust the two of you, and I had that apricot stuff, and that kind of was put me
I
on the
remember that.
blockage
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at the
scrub.
time, what did I know? I thought it was amazing. I thought you really feel your skin
I
feels
know.
invigorated. No,
So
your skin
awful.
actually feels damaged and you're just mistaking it for, but at that
Yeah,
age, your skin's going to
right.
kind of recuperate. It's going to bounce back. Whereas as you get older, you don't want to be scratching it up like that. It's a little more fragile. And this, Boom Scrub is just so great to kind of, it does the same thing in a much more gentle way. And that's not to say people in their 20s shouldn't be using it too, because I think you should, because it's just an amazing
Right.
product. I love the gentleness of it. And of course
Mhm.
the smell is
I
heavenly.
think
Mhm.
I think it's good to start early with
Yeah.
that. So,
Yeah.
but I trust the two of you. So when you tell me something is really good, I know it is.
Great. Give it a try, right?
Mhm.
So we have a couple, let's see, Alicia um, is asking about our two oil products, which are Nectar and Gold. Nectar is not necessarily, we call it more of a serum. Gold, of course, which I have literally like right here by my computer, is there at all times. And it's funny, it kind of sits like under my monitor, which puts off a little bit of heat somehow. And so whenever I go grab my Boom Gold, it's nice and warmed up already. And this, I would say most days, if you ask me my favorite product, it's Boom Gold. um, I did not know about this phenomenon of facial oils until maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Someone gifted me, it wasn't Boom Gold, but it was, a facial oil. And I thought, you want me to put what on my face? Like, you want me to put oil on my face? I don't understand. That doesn't make any sense. But she said, try it. It's like, it's nourishing. And while it's not, it doesn't come close to being as nourishing and amazing as Boom Gold. I tried it and I was sort of like, all right, there's something to this. And so now Boom Gold, that's my go-to every day. I do love Boom Silk and Cotton and our other moisturizers, but Boom Gold for me is the light. It sounds counterintuitive because it is an oil. It is a blend of like 8 or 9 essential oils, and it smells heavenly for that reason too. Like, all of our products smell so good. But whereas Boom Silk, again, is, you've got your olive oil in there, honey, and, all these amazing ingredients. But for me, um, it doesn't feel as light as the Boom Gold oil. The Boom Gold is just so light when you put it on. It takes a minute or two to absorb, but I feel like there's absolutely no shine to it, which is, of course, what I was thinking in my mind. I'm like, I'm going to put oil on my face and I'm going to just look greasy and oily, but your skin absorbs it so beautifully. And then for me, it kind of makes it puts your skin in the perfect condition to sort of dab on a little bit of color or whatever you're going to be putting on for the day. I do sort of avoid my eye area if I'm going to put on Boom Bright, because one thing that Gold will do is it will remove Boom Bright from your eyes. If you as you blink, depending on how long your eyelashes are. I found that out. Not that I have super long eyelashes, but I had put Boom Gold on and was very generous around the eye area, and then put on Boom Bright and found these little dots of black under and over from blinking, because Boom Gold will sort of, soften it up. And so, you just have to be a little more cautious around the eye area when you're going to be wearing a mascara too. But yeah, Boom Gold, I use it every single day, and I use it on my face and also on my neck, and which, as your body heat, I guess, as it's absorbing, you just get that amazing fragrance of the it's sandalwood, I think, is really what gives it the smell, that the one oil that I love. And there's also frankincense in here. So, we're talking about oils and ingredients that we've been talking about for thousands of years, have been in skincare product, like frankincense. You know, pretty sure that's in the Bible. And so,
It's
you
been
know,
around a while.
yeah, it's been around a while, and it has stood the test of time. So I don't know if you ladies also use Boom Gold or Boom Nectar. I don't have too much to say about Boom Nectar. I do love it, but because
I
I
use the gold. I love the gold.
love
use
it,
the nectar.
Yeah, I use the
use
gold.
the nectar. Yeah.
It's an amazing, it's just an amazing smell. I too thought it was so strange to be putting oil on my face.
I know. It
I
took
mean,
me a minute to get used to that concept, but
right, but
tell
it's
you what,
it's not oily.
right.
I
I
use
mean,
both, but I use the gold. I like the gold. I just really do, but I don't know. I use the nectar, and I haven't had I do put it around my eye area because it just softens this around the eyes and just has such a good feel to it. So I use the nectar, and I like both of them, and I have used them together. Even if
right,
my
that's
skin is
about.
really dry, I will use them together.
Yeah. Yeah, I should try that. I've never used them together, but I love that. I also just realized that I forgot to have you, Cindy, tell everyone about your secrets, you know, the fun way that you use Boom Silk, which I think is just amazing.
And you know what? I thought I don't want to get up and go into the other room to get my Boom Silk. I thought
Yeah,
I
that's okay.
was but I will tell. So I was going to demonstrate how I use my
Oh.
Boom Silk.
Oh,
What I do with my Boom Silk, I'm a swimmer, and before I go swimming, I take some of the Boom Silk and I rub it just a little bit on my hands, and then I put it all over my hair. Okay. So I rub it all through my hair. And then I put my swim cap on, which is latex. And so the whole time I'm swimming, I'm getting this incredible infusion of moisturizer,
yeah.
beeswax and honey. And, you know, I don't even know what all the ingredients are right now, and when I pull my swim cap up and then I go wash my hair, instead of feeling, even with the cap, my hair gets wet when I'm swimming. But instead of my hair being dry from the chlorine, it's got a silkiness to it when I go to wash it. So it's yeah, I've turned other people onto this
I love it.
product
Yeah,
for
it's like a
that
treatment, like
purpose.
you said, you kind of like put it on, then the cap especially just keeps it all in there for
Yeah,
that.
it's fantastic. It's
Yeah,
fantastic.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Andy, I feel like you had a kind of an interesting product story too.
I think the one that I think somebody had mentioned it last night. It was when I'm using the Glimmer, and I use the Glimmer every day. I love Glimmer. You know, I'm
Glimmer's
fair.
wonderful.
I like the depth of it. I don't use eyeshadow anymore, and so I put it on, you know, my eyes. And so one day I was using it. I was putting it on my right. I use it on my brow bone up here, and it just, you know what? It makes me happy. So I use that, and it's not for everybody, but it sure does make me happy. But one day I was almost accidentally, and I have eyebrows that are they can be so out of control sometimes. And I've already done this once tonight, but I actually use the Glimmer on my eyebrows. And you can see it already how
Wow.
they are darker, and they look like they're sculpted, and which I don't know how to
Wow.
do my
Oh,
own
I'll have
brows.
to do that.
And then I
What a
do
great
it
idea.
here, and all of a sudden I have these amazing, I guess I
What a
didn't
great
glad I'm
idea.
doing it now,
Oh
because
my
now I look
gosh.
like I've had, you know, professional eyebrows.
Wow. You put it right on your eyebrows?
Mhm. Yeah, and it's
Wow.
Glimmers.
I love that.
Glimmer, and it really does
Wow.
just like hold them down, and you just, you know, and they're dark and they're stay in shape.
Wow.
And so
Fantastic.
for anybody who has like out of control eyebrows, this
I
is
do. I have out of
good.
control eyebrows.
Yeah.
Well,
So
not
some of these
anymore.
things we find out by accident. It just happens. It's just like, oh, I love that. I'm going to keep doing it. But these products are all so versatile. They're all so versatile.
Absolutely.
Glimmer.
That's
And I
one thing I've never heard it used before, so I'm glad that you shared that.
Yeah. And I think the thing is that you just find out what works for you. We're all so different, and we have, different skin tones, and we have different, dry, not dry skin. And so you just work with it and just find out how to work for you. Very
Yeah.
versatile products.
Yeah. Love it. You can't really make a mistake with it. It's
No,
like,
you can't make a mistake.
just blends in, and yeah, you just keep going. I love it. Well, we've gotten so many great questions from the audience. I really appreciate them all. I hope that I hit most of them. I do want to say, again, everybody who's joining us on Facebook, if you enjoyed tonight's ladies night, just do us a favor, drop a yes in the comments, or let us know what you liked about it. Ideas for what we can talk about next time. We always love hearing from you. I think, let's see, I wanted just another quick reminder about our giveaway that ends next week. We're giving $50 gift cards to 5 winners to our Boom store. So if you've never tried Boom, now is your chance. If you want to try Cindy's secret hair treatment, or you want to try Sandy's, that is really one of the coolest ways I've ever seen Glimmer used.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I'm definitely going to try that. Yeah, so if you want to try that, definitely you can, you could win that product. You could win that gift card and get that product and try it out on us. And so just going to kind of throw it out. Did any of you ladies have any parting thoughts? I think we're kind of, rounding up to the 90-minute mark. So
Yeah.
if you have any final thoughts that we want to kind of send out.
Well, the one thing we didn't talk a whole lot tonight. I know we talked maybe last night about it, the pro-aging kind of concept here.
Sure, yeah.
That this is just about, I guess we talked a little bit about that, but and that
Always a fun topic. So
yeah, that's just such a great topic, and I'm so glad we hit upon the issue of sustainability, and I find the way these are packaged, the way they're made, I find the Boom products so sustainable. And if anybody wants to sort of get into a kind of discussion about what I do with sustainability with clothing, you can find me on Instagram at the Unexpected Someone. I'm just making a little pitch for that. I'm happy to take any questions about why I use Boom products versus different kinds of products and just clothing sustainability. But it's if I can get any message across to women, it's please feel good about yourselves, and we need to have positive self-talk.
Yeah.
Now and in the future.
I love that. How about you, Sandy? Any?
To me, I just, I am so, again, grateful to be a part of this sisterhood, getting to know the people through Boom, and
wonderful.
Your organization, Ezekiel, that I've worked with, and the people that I've met through Zoom have just been amazing.
You've got amazing people.
A company like no other, really, and we are all a sisterhood, all the people that are out there watching, and all of us, let's lift each other up, and let's be there. Let's have ladies' nights together, and just celebrate life.
That's great. That's really great.
Love it. What lovely thoughts to kind of end our evening with. Again, I want to thank both of you so much from the bottom of my heart, and our team.
You've got a great team, Colleen. You've got a great team.
You really do. It's the best of the best. It really is. Everyone cares so much about, about delivering great product and, having these conversations. And I think that I really enjoyed both of you for being so open and transparent and just sharing of yourselves tonight. So thank you so much, and have a wonderful evening and rest of the week and rest of 2021. And thanks everyone out in Facebook land.
Bye guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye guys.